Hi guys. All right, so now this is about Unit 29, the Neapolitan, or Phrygian too. Okay, Neapolitan, that's just, I think, because people think it was characteristic of Neapolitan, galant style music from the mid-18th century, although it was also used by Baroque composers. Bach, used the Neapolitan now and then. But it certainly, becomes fairly widespread in Italian opera of the Neapolitan school. Maybe that's why they call it the Neapolitan, but it's not just Neapolitan. And Phrygian because it's based on flat 2. In other words, it's a major triad based on the flattened scale degree 2. Well, the only mode that naturally has the lowered scale degree 2 is the Phrygian. So I think that's why they call it the Phrygian. Well, no, that is why they call it the Phrygian. I don't merely think. I try not to think. Now, really, if you think about the minor mode, you have a tonic, subdominant, dominant. If you just change the subdominant by a half step, instead of having a perfect fifth, you have a minor 6, then that's really your Neapolitan, or flat 2. Usually in first inversion, and then on to the dominant. Actually, that I will put on the board, although you have it, but I'm not going to use the board a lot. Look at your textbooks for what you need, but tonic. Here's the subdominant. But now, instead of scale degree 1 here, we're going to put scale degree flat 2 instead. We're going to put a D flat instead of C up there. Keep the same bass. So now it's flat 2, 6 instead of 4. We've substituted a D flat or scale degree flat 2 for scale degree 1 within the subdominant. So now we've made it into a flat 2, 6. But you see how closely related it is. And then this goes on to 5 with the raised leading tone, and that is the most characteristic, perhaps, effect of the Neapolitan, is this diminished third interval between scale degree flat 2 and the raised scale degree 7, the leading tone. So where the 4. Now, instead of the 4, this. And then. The diminished third, that's the key element here. Okay, that melodic diminished third. All right, now turn to your textbooks. Okay, and turn to Unit 29 and turn to Section 3. Section 1 just kind of introduces the whole topic with a Mozart example from D minor Fantasy. You can listen to that. It's on Canvas. All the examples from the literature on Canvas. Section 2 tells you more about it. Section 3, voice leading. 29-2, example, 2, 6, flat 2, 6, moving to 5. At A, I'm going to add the resolution to the tonic after that. So there is flat 2 going to 5, very easy. Again, the flat 2 scale degree, most commonly in the melody, moves a diminished third down to the leading tone. Scale degree 6, B flat, moves down to scale degree 5. Scale degree 4 moves down to scale degree 2, the bass goes up. You can also move to a 5/7 by keeping scale degree 4 in one of the inner voices. So at B, we go again flat, 2/6, a 5/7, 1. You can interpolate a cadential 6/4 in between the flat 2/6 and the 5, as in example C. That fills in the diminished third instead of we have. You can also interpolate a chromatic predominant on raised scale degree 4 in the bass between the Neapolitan and the dominant, and that gives you 2 chromatic chords in a row. At example D. And you can have both your chromatic chord on scale degree sharp 4 and your cadential 6/4. So the 5 examples at 29-2 basically show you the most common voice leading situations for moving from a flat 2/6 to a 5. Example 4 tells you to avoid the direct progression flat 2 to natural 2. I'm saying it. Avoid that. Don't do it. Everybody does it. I don't know why. Don't do it. Just remember, flat 2 goes to the leading tone, whether directly or passing through scale degree 1. So at the top of 29-3, they tell you at A, don't do it. At B, don't do it. At C, don't do it. Those are all cases where flat 2 goes to natural 2. We don't want that. You could do it in an inner voice if you happen to double the flat 2. There's really no reason to, but if you happen to, then in the inner voice you could do that, as at example 29-3D. But that's an odd doubling anyway. Normally you double scale degree 4. So in general, you don't want to be moving from flat 2 to natural 2 directly. Now, indirectly, it can make a pretty contrast. So 29-4 at A. You start by hearing G natural in the melody, and a little later G sharp, but it's not direct, and that's idiomatic. Or at example 29-4B. Or at C. Have it go directly. Here we have flat 2, and then it moves to the leading tone, just as you would expect it to. And then let me bring in the sharp 2 a little later. Yes, in fact, the contrast between flat 2 and natural 2 can be a nice compositional effect. So at 29-5, they show an excerpt from Mozart's String Quintet K516. So we went from the tonic, G minor, to a 2-6-5, moving cadential 6/4. So sorry, deceptive cadence actually. So that's, let me do that again. Then we repeat the progression down an octave. This time with the Neapolitan. First time you hear A natural, and then the second time A flat, 3 permutations. The Mendelssohn Song Without Words is a very nice contrast between flat 2 and natural 2. Etc. Section 6 talks about leading to the Neapolitan 6. Maybe I don't really need to go over those examples. You can hear them at home, or you probably already are at home, but you can hear them on canvas. But any chord that leads to 2-6, or to 4 for that matter, can lead to flat 2-6. 6 is good to come before that. So is 1 or 1-6 or 3. Basically, any chord that can precede syntactically a predominant on scale degree 4 can lead to the Neapolitan 6th. Like diatonic 2-6 and 4, the Neapolitan 6 can move to an inverted dominant, usually a 5-4-2. So you just stay on the same bass. Top of page 543, example 29-10, we've got a Neapolitan 6, a G major chord within the context of F sharp minor. So we basically moved. We just kept the same bass, moved from a flat 2-6 to a 5-4-2. I actually don't like the word Neapolitan 6 that much because it implies that it always has to be a 6-3 chord. In fact, you find it used in root position quite a lot. They have in section 8 an example of that from a Chopin prelude. Probably you all know this one. Second measure tonicizes A flat major. We start with basically a 1-4-5-1 in C. Then we do the same thing in A flat major. Towards the very end of the prelude, we go directly from a D flat major root position chord, flat 2, to a 5-7 with an accented passing tone. So we have 6, flat 2, 5, 1. That creates a tritone leap in the bass between the flat 2 and the 5-7. Notice, by the way, that in minor, 6 is the upper perfect fifth of flat 2. So 6 relates to flat 2 as 5 relates to 1. In minor, 6 is a very nice way of approaching flat 2. Okay, and there's some other another example from Schubert of a root position. Flat 2. 29-15 is a really great example from Verdi's Requiem of a lowered 6 or submedian in minor acting as the upper fifth of flat 2. So we get again a 6, flat 2, 5, 1 progression in this case in A major. Okay, so we're using modal mixture. A major, then the flattened 6, which is F major, then the flattened 2, which is B flat major, and then 5-1, E A. Let's listen to that one. Anyway, that's a wonderful contrast between A major, then the flattened 6, the flattened 2, and then the diatonic 5. Wow. I like that passage a lot. Sometimes you actually find the Neapolitan in 6/4 position, and there, so then you have actually the flat 6 scale degree in the bass, moving a half step down to scale degree 5. 29-16 illustrates that. Now, you can tonicize flat 2, and that occurs quite frequently. So in the Chopin Mazurka at 29-17, we are in B minor. Flat 2 for a while until the end. And then we end very abruptly back in B minor. So the last two measures, Neapolitan, C major, but it's very easy to tonicize a flat 2, especially a minor, you know. Tonic. It's easy to just shift. There's easy 5/6 motion. And there, you've tonicized it. In fact, why don't I put that on the board? So let's say that you are in B minor. What Chopin does essentially is he just, turns that tonic into a dominant 6/5 of flat 2. Nothing could be easier. Tonic. 5/6/5 of flat 2. I'm not going to go over any of the other examples in this textbook because we have another presentation on musical examples featuring flat 2 in a forthcoming video. But that's basically the essence of the book. There are more details. Read it on your own. Look at all the examples. But I hope that helps you a little bit, at least get the sound in your head. And on to the next video. Goodbye for now.